All right, so welcome to Creating Seesaw Activities for Student Success. I'm so happy you all have joined me on this Saturday. You're taking time out to be here, which I think is just incredible. And if you have not seen me before or know who I am, my name is Heather Miller, and I'm one of the instructional technology specialists. And our team, our ITS team, has Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all that you guys can join in on. There is a QR code up here in the upper right corner that you could scan with your phone, and you get a whole link tree of links. It's called Linktree, but it has a ton of links of all of our social media accounts. So I would highly recommend at least following one of them to get our latest updates. So I'm so glad you're here. We are going to hop right in, and if you have joined any other session today, you probably have already seen our mission and vision, but just a reminder, we are here to empower you guys as educators to innovate that instruction. And so I know this year is very different. You guys, I think, have had 4 first days of school. But we really want to help you. You're never a bother to us. We want to walk alongside you and kind of scaffold that instruction with you. So, we're really helping you at the beginning to where you can just go off and do it on your own, and not, feel anxiety or stress or anything when you think about innovating your instruction. We want your students to be able to thrive in society. And as you guys know, technology is everywhere, especially now with virtual learning and everything. So the why behind why we're doing all of this Innovation Saturday are those 5 areas to master, which we covered at the end of the year last year, and we've brought it up in all of our trainings so far after that. But we just want to make sure that those are kind of those key components that still stick out in your mind when you are creating lesson plans, thinking about trainings you want to go to, so that you have a particular area you want to master. And I know this year, holy smokes, you guys are mastering all of them very quickly at a high-speed pace. So I really appreciate you jumping on here and just learning even more. Today, we're going to be pretty much covering kind of all the aspects of these in different ways, because I'm really tailoring this webinar to what you all need, and building a Seesaw activity live with you here. So put the wrong agenda there, so I'm going to skip over that slide. So what I want to start off with, I want to make sure that you guys get exactly what you need. And I know there's several of you here today, but I want to survey you and just see what grade level we have, because whichever grade level we have the most of, that is the YAG or scope and sequence that I'm going to pull up to create an activity from. So if you will go up to the top of your screen where it has the drop down menu for options, there is an annotate feature on there. You click annotate, then you'll be able to choose a stamp. And from that stamp, you have a star, heart. So choose one of those, a star or heart. And I'm just going to pick the star right now to show you. So let's just say you teach first grade. You're going to put a star on first grade right there. So go ahead, find the annotation drop-down menu. Whatever grade level you teach, just put a star on there, or you can choose heart as well. And we're going to see which grade level has the most. Now, don't be sneaky and start stamping multiple times. Just do one time. But I'm going to give you a second to stamp. So far, it looks like we have first grade teachers here. So, it looks like we have a couple, 1 or 2 fourth grade teachers.
Sorry, I'm on mobile and I don't have the star, but I can draw.
You drew on it, Rebecca. You're good.
Yeah.
Good. Great job. I saw you. You did what you could. Oh, Juanita's first grade also. Okay. No problem. If you do not have the stamp or you cannot find annotation, it's okay. You can just type in the chat and tell me what you are. So far, we have 3 first grade teachers. Anything that I'm covering today doesn't really matter what grade level. You can do all of the things that I'm teaching you with any Seesaw activity. I'm just trying to make sure that I kind of pick the grade level that is here with the majority. So I think it's mainly first grade because I have second and fourth. Okay to 2. Okay, perfect. Yeah, IITs, librarians, anybody that, whatever grade level you think. Okay, so I'm going to, I'm still on the stamp and I just stamped my own thing. Okay, so I'm just going to stop the annotation for now. I'm just going to clear all of our drawings. Amanda, thank you, Amanda. I see your circle, friend. Okay, so let me just clear all those out so they don't show up on every page that we're about to pull up. So as I'm pulling this up, think about what subject that you want to cover, and you can type in the chat or you can just unmute yourself and say, you know, do you want ELAR, math, science, social studies? What are those areas that you feel, okay, I am on the struggle bus when creating Seesaw activities for this specific area. So I'm going to pull up first grade, but as I said before, it works. The things we're going to go over today work for any grade level. So go ahead. I'm going to give you some time as I'm opening up first grades for you to let me know. It looks like several of you have already typed in there, which is awesome. ELAR. Amanda, it is kind of like ER, like we are in emergency mode. Awesome. Okay, so it looks like we're going to do first grade ELAR. And so oh my goodness. No, I had the pulled up and then I closed it, and that was a bad choice because now it's just spinning around. Okay, so at any time that you guys have a question or anything during this entire webinar, please just feel free to unmute yourself or just type it in the chat. It doesn't matter to me which one you want to do. I want to make sure that you get your questions answered. So if you need something repeated, or if I did something and you're thinking, okay, well, that sounds good, but how would I do it this way? Ask away. I want you guys to leave here with those tips and tricks to creating those Seesaw activities effectively and just really enhancing student engagement with them. A lot of times you guys have so much to do that it can be very overwhelming creating these Seesaw activities because you're like, okay, I'm just going to put something out there for them to do. But I think once you kind of see these resources that I'm going to show you today, it'll make it a little bit easier for you. Okay, while this is, oh no, don't close that out, Heather. Goodness gracious. Okay. This is not Seesaw related, but I want to show you this on Launchpad because a lot of people don't know this. I don't know if you saw when I opened Launchpad, Seesaw and Google Classroom also opened because you can set things up to auto launch. So if you right click on, let's say, okay, I want the curriculum framework to open every time that I open Launchpad. If you right click on it, see how it says set auto launch? That means every time you log into Launchpad, that app will also open and sign you in. So you don't have to go and find it. So if you are using, let's say, Brain Pop every day or whatever it might be, you can just, it doesn't matter what app, whether you loaded it or NEISD loaded it, you can set auto launch. And that is the same thing for students as well. So I went into my daughter's account and we set auto launch for Seesaw, for Zoom, for like everything, you know, everything that she used every single day. So she didn't have to go and click on them. She just clicked on it and all the apps opened in every tab on her Chromebook. There's also the second one is add to favorites, and that just adds it to the very bottom of the screen. So you can see down here, these 3 blue ones are for everyone. Those stay, you can't remove them. But over here on the right side, if you add it to favorites, it shows up on the right. So if every day you're going into Seesaw, which if you're a Seesaw teacher, you're doing that. You can just right click and add to favorite. So maybe you don't want it to automatically open, but you just want to click on there instead of having to go into a folder or search for it or whatnot. So
I
those,
like that.
yes, right. It makes things so much easier. It just, yes. Once I saw that we could do that, I was like, thank you for all those things that, man, I added so many favorites for my daughter because I'm like, okay, here are all the things that you need, but you don't need every day, but I don't want you to have to search for all of them. Now, if you add something down here, don't want anymore, just right click, choose remove favorite, and it goes away. It's gone. Okay, so that's my little side tip trick to show you about. Okay, so we're going into first grade. Oh, well, if I clicked on the right grade, and going into ELAR. Juanita, no problem. Hopefully that helps you as you guys go about doing all that. Okay, I have other tips and tricks, but I don't want to overwhelm you. I will have to say that at any time that you guys are trying to make lessons, trying to create Seesaw activities or Google Slide, whatever it might be, please feel free to reach out to your ITS on your campus because we are ready and willing to help you out. And I no, don't just send us a thing that says, go create this because we want to create it with you. But at any time, we are happy to help you. Okay, so, oh my gosh, how many weeks of school have we had? I think we're in unit 3. First grade teachers, what unit are you guys about to be on? Unit 2. We're not on 8 weeks, right? Okay, whoever's a first grade teacher, just speak up. You guys can tell me. I feel like we've had 20 weeks, so what week are we on right now?
In fourth grade, we're going into the 9th week next week, in case that helps.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you. That is very helpful. I seriously, when I said you guys have had multiple first days of school, that's how I feel. I feel like we just had like our second week of school because it just felt like another first week. Okay. So here are some things that you guys are learning within Unit 3. We're talking about informational text, inferencing, oh gosh, lots of inferring, some really, really good stuff. So students will know the difference between literary and informational text, how to use text features, including a glossary to find information. They're doing multiple genres and author's purpose. Oh, so many really, really fun things. So what we want to do is, now, where are all of like the books and everything that you guys are supposed to use? They're not in here? Oh, they're there. Okay. Where are all the things? Okay, so let's just look at this one. This I know is under that phonemic awareness resource, but I like to use the resources across multiple activities because it just gets them to see, okay, well, I'm using this book for text features, but I'm also using it for informational text and inferencing and predictions and all that stuff. Oh my goodness. See, this is why I have to like do double screen when oh, friends. Okay, you're just gonna have to help guide me into what you need. How about that? So we're talking about inferencing, and we really just need a book or story that you guys are going to be looking up. So here's like a decodable book. Let's see. Oswald Pretends. Oh, there you go. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to go into my Seesaw class. And when you are creating an activity in Seesaw, you are going to click on the green plus sign and choose Assign Activity. So here's plus and assign. Oh, rhyming words. Thank you, Amanda. I see you. Okay. And then just to show you guys, you've probably have already really been able to dive into these, but the community library is awesome. They have a ton of already created activities that are made by Seesaw ambassadors and Seesaw certified educators. And they have really fun ones, and you can search by grade levels. So let's just say we're doing first grade and we're doing ELAR. So you guys can go and look, okay, I'm going to find all the first grade ELAR lessons, and you can find them in here. And then if there's one that you like, but you want to change it a little bit, so let's just say I like this one, and I want to use it right away, I can click assign. But if I click on here and I'm like, well, I don't really want to use this word or that word, like shag, I don't know. So if there's a word that you don't want to use or you want to change it up, then you can go and click on this heart right here to save it to your library. And that will allow for you to click on the 3 dots and copy and edit. So let me show you, if you do not have the heart selected, let me just remove it real quick. If you do not have the heart selected and it's back and that heart is gray, if you click on these 3 dots, you can't copy and edit. All you can do is share that activity. But if you click on that heart, now those 3 dots change and you have a lot more options on here. Okay, so that is if you just want to take an activity already created and change it to make it your own. Maybe add your voice instructions instead of hers, or change out one of those words. You would just say copy and edit, and you can go in. The school and district library is the same, except the school and district library are all the teachers within Northeast. So you can search first grade or fourth grade, kinder, whatever it might be, and you'll recognize the teachers' names in here that are creating different activities. Okay, and same thing, you can share them right away, or you can copy and edit and make it your own. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose to create one from scratch, because I want to kind of give you guys some tips and tricks when you're creating your own. So for the very first thing, this activity name, I would highly recommend using emojis to help, both in the activity name and the instructions. Really doesn't matter what grade level. I think it's beneficial to kind of give them those little icons to help them along. So whether you're saying, okay, I'm going to put a star on this one because all the stars are the ones they have to do, like they are being graded, right? And then all these other ones are more of a review, if you want to do them, right? So the easiest way to get an emoji to put onto or put into the activity name or into the student instructions is by holding down the Windows key on your keyboard and pressing the semicolon. You can also press, I think, any of those other punctuations like the period, but I always choose the semicolon. It's easy for me to remember. So just holding down that Windows key and pressing the semicolon. So let's just say we're learning about bears, and I'm going to click on the bear here, right? If you don't see the picture here, then you can just type the word bear. There's panda bear. That looks like a koala bear. Awesome. So I just want bear. So, and we're going to, not that we're learning about bear habitats, but you could put that in there. Now, if we're going to go back to this story here, Amanda also mentioned rhyming words. Actually, let's just do rhyming words. This one's taking forever. So you can do whichever one you want in here. And there's not really, I don't think, a symbol for rhyming words, but they have books. They have, all those emojis that you see on your keyboard that you can put on there. So let's just say, because this is ELAR, I'm just going to do a book. And I'm going to mark, look, they have different color books. So you can mark it like, okay, all the red books are, whatever, have to, and the greens are can do. You guys can figure it out. Okay, so I'm going to type in rhyming words practice. Okay, I'm going to come back to the instructions because for me, I like to create my activity and build it and make it my own before I type in the instructions, because it just helps me to kind of wrap my head around what I want them to do. So for the multimedia instructions or example, I would save this for any of those videos that you want to link, a YouTube video or anything like that. So just to show you, I'm going to pull up a YouTube video. We're going to search rhyming words. I'm sure Jack Hartman has a rhyming word video that we can find. Come on, I'm going to close all these out. Goodness me. Okay, rhyming words, Jack Hartman. Let's see. 2 minutes? Yeah. Look at him. Exercise, rhyme, and freeze, or the rhyming words game. All 2 years ago. That's funny. Okay, so let's just say this is 5 million views. We'll get them up and exercising. So as some of you guys have already probably seen, is that when you put in a YouTube video, it like sends them to YouTube and they have all these ads and that sort of thing. There are a couple of websites that you guys can use to help so that they don't have all the ads. And one of them is Safeshare.tv. There we go. Okay. And this is just a way that you can put in the link to the YouTube video and give them a clean page without any advertisements, right? So I'm going to take this link from my Jack Hartman video. Make sure that's the right link and it's not just giving me an ad. Apparently it thinks I spell things wrong all the time because I get the Grammarly one, I think, every time that I look up YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to put the URL over here. I'm going to paste that in. Paste it in, paste it in. There we go. Click on the arrow. And it's going to create that link for me so I can safely share it with my students without them seeing all the advertisements over here on the right. You can even mark when you want it to start and finish. So let's say it's a 15-minute video, but you only want them to watch this 5 minutes of time. You can say, okay, I want it to start after 5 minutes. Jack Hartman! Stop, Jack Hartman. We don't need to exercise. Okay, so now down here, I can just turn on, okay, I want private video. I can even hide the buttons. Those are the buttons here to play it. And then I can just check it off and everything's saved. And so now when I click watch, I have my little share option here. So I can click the link here, copy, and go back to my Seesaw. Click the link. Jack Hartman! Okay.
Everybody up! Let's rhyme and
goodness. All right, so then I went over here and I pasted it in. The common question I get all the time is, well, Seesaw doesn't let me paste things in. It does, but you have to use your control keys. So Control V, Control C, Control, all those, they work in here. I'm going to give you something at the end that gives you the control keys that you can use within here, so it'll help. So clicking on this check mark, it's going to give me a preview, ta-da, of that video, and so I can put it in. So now I can click on my check mark, and I have my multimedia example attached here. Now, a lot of teachers put their video instruction up here, and you can totally do that. But for me, what I've noticed with students is that because this is a part of the instructions get put at the top of their activity, and most of the time the students don't even look at that. I don't know how you guys felt about that, but what I've noticed is that whatever's on the page, whatever's on the template, they look at, they click on, they see, and then in the view instructions, it's like they completely bypass it. So this multimedia example, that's where I would put, you know, a recording or a video or something that is just kind of a review, but you don't, they don't have to watch it in order to complete their template. So let's click on this template response down here. So I like to click on the drawing most of the time, but I do want to show you something real quick. So if you go to Google Slides and you have different slideshow background that you like, okay, so let's just say I'm using Slides Mania. If you guys have never used Slides Mania before, oh my gosh, it makes it look like you spent hours and hours and hours of work doing something and you really didn't, which I like. And what's crazy is you guys are already spending hours and hours of work. But this would help you out. So they have different little things, like they have little bees, they have, you know, Halloween, fall, all that good stuff. So let's just say I was going to do a pumpkin one and I want them to choose this one. So any of these that you want as a background, you just load it up into your into Google Slides and you can pick which background that you want. Now, you do not have to use all of them, okay? But I'm going to show you how you can easily get a fun background for them as they're doing rhyming words. So I'm just going to say open in Google Slides. And I'll put the link in here so you guys can, like I said, I'm going to give you these links at the very end, but this is slidesmania.com and they have a ton of different backgrounds that you can use, and you can use like one slide for each lesson if you really wanted to. Okay, so I'm going to use this template and it's going to pull it right into my Google Slides. And let's just say that I want to use this background with the leaves, or I can use one that, you know, already has like a table with pumpkins or something like that. But you need to know that whatever Google Slides thing you are using, it's going to put it in as a background. So they will not be able to move all these leaves and the pumpkins and all of that around. They will just be able to have it as a background. Then you can put pumpkins and that sort of thing on top of it. So let's just say I wanted to change this up. I want to make it fancy. So instead of happy, I'm going to say rhyming. Whoop. Maybe if I don't have it at 211. Let's try 190. Let's see. Good job. Okay. And then I'll just put words. Okay. Oh my goodness. So let's say I wanted this one to be my front page. Like before they see their little video that they're going to watch, I want them to see this rhyming words. Look how fancy we look. And we didn't even spend that much time creating it. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I just want this one slide, rhyming words. So I'm going to click File right here, and I'm just going to download this right there, download as a picture. And it just right here, just a current slide. I'm not doing all of them. So I'm just doing that current slide. So now when I go to Seesaw, I don't even want that as my template. I want that as my example. So like, you know, when the kids look at it, that's what they see as the first page. So I'm going to go back in here and edit my template. Okay. So I already have this page here, but I want to add a new page. So I'm going to click Add Page. So this is my multimedia example. Remember, we already added that video, but I think to make it a little bit more interactive for them, I think adding a page that says rhyming words would be so helpful. So that's what we're going to do. So look how it downloaded down here in the bottom left corner. So I'm just going to slide that up. Ta-da! Look how pretty that looks. And then they have the video over here. Now, if you wanted to, you could actually take this video and make it really small and put it on this page, but you know, I'll show you how to do that just in case you want to know. But I'm going to unlock it. And then again, I'm using my control key. So Control C is to copy it. And if I put it over here on this page and do Control V to paste it, and then I can make it real small like this and put it over here in the corner. So then they don't even have to like go to a different page to view that. They can just all have it on the same page. But if you'd rather just the rhyming words page be there, you don't need that. And then they can have the second page. Okay, so now I want to do another page for them moving objects around, moving little pumpkins around. So let's just say I want, oh look, they have one with like coffee and stuff. Come on, scroll, scroll. Excuse me. Okay, so let's just say I want this one right here. Okay, it's kind of matching the thing. See how it says add your main point here? I don't want that because they're going to be moving things around and I don't want them to have to type anything. So you can already add your instructions on there, but I would rather add my instructions later. So I'm just going to delete it because I just want this background here for them to have. So again, I just go to File. I click download and I download as a JPEG and it pops up down there in the bottom. So when I go to my template, I can choose upload here or I can go right to my drawing. Either way, it doesn't matter, you'll be able to upload it. So if I go to upload, I just drag this in and drop it. Okay, so that was just upload. I grabbed it from the bottom, click, move it to the middle. If I get to the drawing page and I want another picture or drawing, you can click on the camera here and there's the same upload option there as well. But guess what? If your images are all down here at the bottom, you don't even need to click upload. You just click and drag it in from the bottom and voila, it's there. So if these go away from the bottom and you need to find the file on your computer, then click upload and you'll see all the files that are listed on your computer to find them. Okay, so now I want my students to move around and match the rhyming words. So you can decide if you want to just have the typed words, which I think is probably easiest for you time-wise, to just type the words in there. But what I want to show you is, okay, let's just say I did the word back. The three dots here give you the different style, right? So let's just say I want to do this color and I want them all to be like one of these colors over here. So I'm just going to move this circle here until I get to one of these colors. I don't know. What do you think? Probably darker. There we go. So I have the color I want. I can change the font if I wanted to, make it however you would like, okay? But once you figure out the style of it, then you can use your control keys again and do Control D for duplicate. Okay, so I'm just going to do Control D and voila, there's another one. And then I can change, okay, now I'm going to say tack. And again, I can do Control D and you can just continue on making however many that you want. Okay, so let's just say I want pot, hot. I'll make 6 of them. Let's say Man, I'm put on the spot, guys. Win and thin. Let's see. Okay, so then you can move them down here all together like a little word bank. Okay, like this. All right. And then you need, for me, I like to have a place for the students to put the rhyming words. Okay. So there's leaves over here. So what I could do is I could just get big, gigantic leaves, and then they have to match them on the leaf, right? So there are two different places that you can get items to add there. Now, believe me, I completely understand if you're like, Heather, I don't have time for all those extra websites. I just do a square. They put it in the different squares. Great. Do that. I just want to show you some different things that you can do if you don't want to add just squares. But if you wanted to add these squares, you could put them in there. They drag them in. Now, because I added the squares after the words, look what happens. All the words are covered up. So you just want to make sure that if you're going to add the squares, I would do that first before you add the words, because then all those words are covered up. But as you see, a lot of times I forget that, so I have to go and reorder them. So if you click on the three dots and choose order, and just send them to the back, and I know they're hiding right now behind my picture, which is okay. So I'm sending them all to the back, and then I just need to click on my picture here. I got to unlock it, goodness. And then I send that one to the back as well. So pretty much I send all my squares to the back, and then I just get my background picture again and send it. So now all of these squares, all of these squares here will be able to go with those words, and they will be just fine. I would highly recommend locking these in place so they don't move. So the kids, when they're moving them on here, can do that. So I did mention using a different icon, let's say a leaf. There is this website called Flat Icon, and you can just search leaf. You can find the different leaves. There's also a website called Pixabay that has really great backgrounds as well, if you don't want to do Slides Mania or something like that. So let's just say, I don't know, I'm just going to go with this first leaf here, even though it doesn't look anything like, you know what, maybe say fall leaf. Okay. There, those are better. Okay, so now you can find, oh look, and here's one with 3 leaves already. Makes it easy for me that I can choose that one. But you can choose any of these, and you can just download them. So let's just say I'm just going to choose one leaf. Let's just say this one. They give you an option to do the outline, not the outline, all that good stuff. Also gives you more options down here at the bottom so that you can decide if that's really the one you wanted, or you want to choose something different. Okay, so let's just say I want this one. You can right click and choose copy, but I normally just click this PNG and download it. You might get, if you're not signed in, you might just get another green button that just says free download, same thing. So now, just like our background, here it is at the bottom, and then I can just drag it in. And let's just say I'm going to erase these here. So I'm going to put my 3 leaves. I'm going to do my Control D to duplicate it. I'm going to just get fancy and spin some around. There we go. Now, if you're not clicked on the icon, it pops up the random thing there, but just Control D, put it on there however you want, spin it, make it look, however you want to do it. Then what I want to do is I want to record the instructions for them, right? And again, I added those things in different order. So I'm going to send them all to the back again. 3 dots, send them to the back. You can tell sometimes my brain works backwards and I have to use this order thing because I added the words first. What was I thinking? So I'm sending all the leaves to the back, and then I send my background behind all those leaves. Then I want to record instructions for my students. So what I like to do is I like to just add a new page, and I like to put a big speaker symbol here. And I actually already have one saved, but you can get one from that free icon website. But I just have one saved on my computer because I use it so much. It's the way that I record everything. So what I do is I just add it in here and I make it really gigantic. And then you can change the background color to kind of make it stand out if you want. I normally always just choose the same light blue color to make it easier. So every single time I'm making activities, it looks exactly the same. So then what I do is I just click the microphone and I record my instructions. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Hi, boys and girls. We are getting into fall weather. And on this slide, there are a bunch of words at the bottom. So what you're going to do is you're going to use the move tool and you're going to move those words on top of the leaves. There's some words that match. So you got to find those rhyming words and match them and put them on the same leaf. Ready? Go. Okay, so then you can explain however you want to explain. Then click done. Now I'm not clicking this check mark here because I need to move my video. So right now my video is on this third page, but I want it on this first one. So again, those control keys come in handy. I can do my control C because I'm clicked on this video right here. Go to my first page and paste it in, control V. And it's really, really gigantic, but it's okay, because these little white dots in the corner, I can just resize it. You can resize it before you even move it, or you resize it when you move it. It's really up to you. So I take this, I can put it wherever I want at the top of the page. So now when the kids come to this page, they click here. They click on the speaker. Hi, boys and girls. We are getting into fall weather. And on this slide, there are... You don't have to listen to me all over again, but they can listen to the instructions and then they can see what you are supposed to do. And so it kind of gives them that verbal instruction right there on the page. The other thing you can do is, I'm going to turn off my camera here for a second, is I can click the video and choose, or the camera, excuse me, and choose the video option. And here's my video coming up. There I am. So I can record a video for the students. Hi, boys and girls. We are learning about rhyming words. Remember, those are the words that when we listen to them, they are sounding the same, like hop, pop. So you have some words down there at the bottom. Do you see them? They're red. So what I want you to do is click on the move tool. It's the one with the finger and it has that square around it. And you're going to move those words from the bottom to one of the leaves. But you have to match the rhyming words. So you're going to have 2 rhyming words on 1 leaf. Let's see which rhyming words you can find. So now I've recorded my video. I click done. Now, you do not have to do both of these. I'm just giving you some options. So now I've recorded my video. So this would kind of take over this audio instruction here. You don't need both. So I'm just going to cover that so you can see. Now they can click on this one. Hi, boys and girls. We are learning about rhyming words. Remember, those are the words that when we listen to them, they are sounding the... Okay, so on and so forth. I pointed so they can see. So it's up to you. You can just do your voice. You can... Same, like... Oh, there you go. I paused on a really weird face. Let's just go back. Okay. Now, if they double click on it, the video will get really, really big. So it doesn't matter how small you put the video, they can double click on it and see what you're doing. The other way to kind of give them instructions on the page, I'm just going to delete all of these. Delete, delete, delete. Is you can press the microphone and just record the instructions right on the page. All right, boys and girls, so today what you're going to do is you're going to click the move tool at the bottom of the page. Do you see that move tool at the bottom? It looks like a finger with a square right there. And what you're going to do is you're going to click on these words down here at the bottom. You're going to move them to one of the leaves. So listen to the word as you say them. So this word I'm pulling out is thin, thin. So I'm going to put that on this leaf. Wonder if I can find another word that rhymes. I'm going to pull out this word. Hot, hot, thin. Do those rhyme? No, they don't. So I'm going to move that word over here. So only put the words that rhyme on the same leaf. Okay, so now I'm done with that video. And watch this. It's an optical illusion. It looks like the video is taking up my entire page, but it's not. The video is actually right on top of the template. So now I can just move this video right here. And I'm putting it up here, but you can put it wherever you want to put it. Down here, up here, wherever. Then they can click on it on the page. All right, boys and girls, so today what you're going to do is you're going to click the move tool at the bottom of the page. Do you see that move tool at the bottom? It looks like a finger with a square right there. And okay, so I'm just going to show you. They can watch and they can see you moving. So I'm going to put that on this leaf. So they know exactly what to do. So depending on what grade level you're teaching, some, maybe your kids will be good with just hearing your voice. Maybe some kids need to see you. Maybe some need to actually see you moving and manipulating the screen. So once I do that, I just put these right back into the pile and then they're good to go. Okay. I'm going to pause right there and see if you guys have any questions about that, what I just did. What do you think? What do you think? Okay, I'm giving wait time. I can't hear you guys, but I make my own self laugh. I'm sorry. I'm like laughing at my own.
On that video
please.
that you did, is there any way to put like instructions on the very top as well or no?
Oh yes, for sure. Yes. So I can put the video down here and I can add a text box.
Okay.
And type in the instructions. Now, the students, now you don't see it right now because we're in the template, but the students will see view instructions up here at the very top.
Oh, okay.
Right? And they'll be able to click on that and see all the instructions and listen to your voice and everything. But it's always nice to have extra things on there to view, right?
Right.
You can do that as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay? Yeah, no problem. Good question. So I'm just going to write the word instructions so you guys can see.
Yeah, they're missing it.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Because really, that's what I'm saying. As many activities I've done with students, this view instructions up here, they just completely bypass it. They don't really look at it. So I take that view instructions more for the parents, especially those ones who are still virtual, because as a parent myself, I always went to the view instructions because I'm like, okay, what are you really supposed to do on this slide? What are you really supposed to do? So the parents most of the time will look at that more than the students will. So that's why I like to add things right onto the page so that they can see. Okay, so I'm going to add another slide and I'm just going to add the same picture here. But again, you can go back and add different pages on there from Slides Mania or however you want to find it. Okay, so, or you know what? Let's just use this one. I like this one because then they can like stack pumpkins. I like it. Okay, so this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the instructions on to this slide before I save it, just so you can see. So I'm just going to say stack the pumpkins that rhyme. Whoa. See, maybe that's why Grammarly shows up all the time, guys. They're like, Heather, you can't even spell the word rhyme. Come on. Okay, so I'm going to put my instructions. I don't need them really big because I want most of my things to be for the kids to look at. And these pumpkins here are in the background, I think, as well. The Slides Mania lady, she does a lot of her things in the master. So if there is something that you don't like, I'm going to show you this, but if it's way over your head, then don't listen, just, you know, plug your ears. But there is this edit master here for the slide. In that's where you can go and delete all these extra images that she's put in. So I'm just going to delete these because I just want the table that she has, that little cloth. I don't need all these cups of whatever this is, pumpkin spice or something. Okay, and I don't need all these pumpkins because I don't want my kids to be confused with these pumpkins because they're going to stack their own. All right, so now you see I have no pictures because I went in and just clicked on that and edited. So I'm going to download it again. I'm going to choose my file and download and current slide. Okay, it's going to download again at the bottom. So I'm going to go back to my Seesaw template that I'm using. And I'm going to click on the 3 dots. And I actually, you know what? I'm just going to delete this page here. Delete. And I'm just going to, remember I can drag it in from the bottom. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a pumpkin so they can stack. So again, there's that flat icon and I can search for pumpkins. Might already have a pumpkin. I use flat icon a ton just because they have so many icons. And I had the free version for the longest time, but then I used it so much, I just ended up buying a subscription because I was like, okay, yeah. So we need a pumpkin that, and if you have the free version, you just don't get the ones with the little crown, but you look at all the ones that don't have one. So it's awesome. So you just find one that you think you can put a word on. I don't know what you guys think. Let's try this one. This one. And you cannot group things into Seesaw, but I can use my slides here and I can do that. I can add my pumpkin on there. But it's up to you how you want to do this. If you just want to, instead of saying stack the pumpkins that rhyme, you can do just like, you know, stack the words that rhyme or something like that. But I'm going to show you just something different. I'm showing you a lot of things today. Please do not feel like you have to do everything, but I know everybody's kind of at a different level. So I'm just showing you a ton of stuff, but just pick one thing that you want to try for your next activity. But there are just some really fun things that you can try. So Google Drawings is the way that because Seesaw doesn't group them, it's the way I group the pictures with the words together. Okay, so see how there are squares back here? That means it's a transparent background. So I can drag this pumpkin into here like this, and I can make it really gigantic like this. Whoops, maybe a little too gigantic. Okay, all right, so I'm just making my pumpkin here, and then I'm going to add my words again like I did before. So let's just say I'm going to add the word hop, and I'm going to make it, hop. And I'm going to just make it really huge because I want to add it to this word. I want to make it really big. You can choose whatever font that you want to have on there and make it all how you want. Sometimes you can be fancy. Sometimes it's just trying to get it done, right? So now I have hop, and then all I need to do, I don't even need to title it. I just file, I download, and this time I want to do PNG because that means it's transparent. And then watch, I just change the words again. So here, top. And then I'm going to download PNG. And then I just keep going. Now I want to do tap. And then that's how I just make those words over and over again. And they just download all at the bottom. I don't know if they'll know the word sap. So let's try nap. They'll know that one. So now when I go to my Seesaw, see how I have all those words at the bottom down here? I've just made them, downloaded it. And now the pumpkin and the word are together. So now I can just drag all these little drawings from the bottom and put them into there's hop, there's top, there's tap, there's nap. And then I can just resize them so that they can, however big you want. That's kind of small, but just resize them so they kind of look the same size, or maybe you want different sizes. I don't know. And then you can just put all of them over here or stack them up like this. And then there's your stack the pumpkins that rhyme. Juanita, yay! So now, again, I had this slide over here that had my speaker, but remember this was the recording for my first slide. So I don't need that anymore. So watch this. I just click on this recording and I'm just hitting delete. And now I just click the microphone again. All right, boys and girls, there are pumpkins down in the bottom right corner. Do you see those pumpkins? They all have words on them. Find the rhyming words and stack those pumpkins. All right, so there's my recording, clicking done. And here again, here's my video. I said last time you can resize it on either this page or when you move it, so I'm just gonna resize it now. I'm using my Control C, moving over here. Control V, and there's my recording. And they can listen to it. So every time that I'm making a template, I just leave a page that has the speaker and I just go and record over and over and over. And then before I end it, I just go to that page, click on the 3 dots and delete it because they don't need to see that page, right? That's just more for when I'm working. That just helps me that I can just click on it, record, put it on the page. Click on it, record, put it on the page. So each page has a recording of what they want to do. Okay, so the other thing I want to show you is this extension. It's a Seesaw extension right here. If you do not have this extension, you just go to Seesaw Reflect, and I have the link for you too, don't worry. But it's called Seesaw Reflect extension. Most teachers I have found already have the extension, but it's not turned on. So if you go to this link that I'm going to give you at the end, and it already says remove from Chrome, but you don't see it up here, you're going to click on this puzzle piece and you're going to make sure that, let me find it, there we go, Reflect and Seesaw extension is turned blue, because if it's not blue, then you won't see it. So what does this Reflect extension do, Heather? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Okay, so what this Reflect extension does is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to create a new page right here. And I'm just going to make it a blank page. You can have your background in there already. You know, if you already have a background, let me see. Oh, I do have background. Let me just pull that in to show you. Now we're going to pretend this is a different background, but I want to show you, I'm going to go to this story right here that I pulled up, Oswald Pretends. Okay. And I want them to read this story and I want them to highlight all the words that rhyme. Okay. Do they have words that rhyme? maybe. I don't know. We're going to pretend that they have words that rhyme, okay? And there's an extension right here that is my Seesaw extension. Think of it as the snip and sketch snipping tool of Seesaw, okay? It pulls in whatever you're snipping right into your template, but you have to have the template open. If you don't have the template open, it just thinks that you are going to make a new Seesaw post and it doesn't know where to go. So you want to make sure you have that drawing page open so it's ready to go. So watch. I'm going to choose capture selected area and I'm going to highlight, or I guess draw a box around this, just like you would with the snipping tool. When I let go, it pulls it right into that page. Did I just blow your mind? Yes. Okay, now the page is really huge and my background got really small, but watch. When I resize this page, it makes it really small. It will resize it again. Do you see that? Now, I do want to say that it does give a copyright link to everything that you snip. So it's already sending a copyright link attached to this snip here. But if you have the rights to it like we do for the Northeast thing, and you don't need to necessarily give the link for the kiddos, then just click on the 3 dots, click on link, and click the X. You can always paste the link to this into the teacher notes, which I'll show you here in a minute. So I'm going to make this really big like this. And I'm just going to delete this background because it's a little bit confusing because it says stack the pumpkins. So whenever you want the students to highlight on top of a picture or on top of a page, just make sure that you click the 3 dots and lock it into place, because sometimes they just move it and they don't mean to. And then they get frustrated because now it's too small or too big or it's in the wrong spot. So just click the 3 dots and choose lock and just make it easier for them when they go and highlight. So they can highlight over the page like this, like that. Okay. And again, you can record over the page to show them what exactly you want them to do. And so let me just show you what that looks like. Burp, burp, burp. I'm kind of combining all these things together into one. Can you tell? So I'm going to start. All right, boys and girls, on this page, you've been practicing matching all those rhyming words, but I have a little story here and I want you to find the rhyming words in this story. So let's find the rhyming words. You're going to click the highlighter at the bottom and you're going to find them. Let's see. Oh, riddle and middle. That rhymes. Can you find another word that rhymes? Make sure you highlight the ones that rhyme. Okay, however you want to do it. But once you highlight, let's say you drew all over the page, you highlighted all over the page. Again, remember you can make this smaller for them to see. But the thing I like about writing on the page is because you can just come over here to the eraser, bink, and just click erase all, erase drawing, and then all your stuff goes away, but they can still see it in the video, which makes it so much easier than trying to move all your manipulatives back, right? So you can do math problems and show them how to do it, move your video smaller, and then they can do it on their own. But you can erase all those drawings in one fell swoop. Okay, so that Seesaw extension is so helpful when you want to just grab something really quick and bring it in to the slideshow. So it could be anything, like let's say you want to grab this thank you. You don't even want to download the slide. You just want to grab the thank you. Again, you click on the snip, click selected area, drag it around where you want it. Make sure you have the right page up, because watch, I didn't have the page I really wanted up, and so it put it on that Oswald page. But remember, the control keys will help me. So I can use control C or even control X, which are like scissors. I'm cutting it. So I'm going to control X and I'm going to cut it out. and then I'm going to go to my new page, and I'm Control V in it and pasting it in. You can see, again, there's a link here. If you don't want them to click on a link, 3 dots and click link and do the X. Then that way they don't feel like they're tempted to click on the link. Okay. So that is the Seesaw extension. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this tile right here. I'm going to delete this. Okay. The other thing I want to show you, I'm going to just add another page here, is that you can hide words for the students to find. Now, I'm showing you a lot of things, and you do not need to combine all of these into one. Like, we're pretty much making 4 activities in one, just so I don't waste your time creating a new activity every time. So each of these pages could be a different activity. But what I want to show you is that you can hide words on the page. So let's say I went and found my pumpkin page again. So let's just say I want my plain little page that's up here, this one. Okay. And it's already in my download, so I don't have to download it again, but just for time's sake, I'm going to download it so it'll pull it down to the bottom. That's why my downloads folder gets so so piled up, because I just don't want to go and try to find it. I just want it down here at the bottom. So I'm going to drag it in here. Now you can do this for any background. I'm just kind of going along with our theme here, okay? And I want them to find the words on the page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the 3 dots, and I'm going to lock this into place. Now, if you want a different background, a fall background, let's say, there is another website called Pixabay. You might have heard of that one. Both Flat Icon and Pixabay are websites you can use. They're free, they're copyright free. So please don't just go to Google and get images because those could have a copyright on them, and I don't want you to get in trouble. So I'm just going to type fall here, and you can find a background from here as well. So if you're tired of using that slideshow one, you can find one from here. You can type in pumpkins or something like that. Here's a leaf one that you could use. Okay, so you can use any of these, and the way that you get them, I mean, you know what, I'm just going to type pumpkin, and maybe that's easier. I like to find one that kind of has a lot of the same color, just to make it easier for me for what I'm about to show you. But they have a ton of different things in here that you can find. Okay, so let's just say I'm going to use this one because it has pumpkins. All right, so what you can do is you can either right click on it and choose copy, and then you can paste it into your slideshow, or you can choose free download. Either way, it works the same way. So I'm going to choose copy. This little thing looks like it's photoshopped on there. That's pretty interesting. Oh well, no worries. So let's say we decided we don't want this one. We're just going to unlock it and delete it. And I'm going to paste Control V, like an upside down glue bottle, Control V, paste this picture in here. And again, I want to lock it like this. Okay, so here comes the fun part. I'm creating a text box, and it's red just like my other one was before. But I'm just going to type a rhyming word. I'm going really easy on rhyming words. Obviously, you can make them harder. Flat Icon. Oh, you guys are, sorry, I'm missing questions. The pumpkin background is found on Pixabay, and I'm going to give you guys these links, like I said at the end, but pumpkin background is found on Pixabay, and Flat Icon, it does have free. Like I said, I use free for the longest time, but there is a premium version that you can get more, even more. Okay, so I'm going to change, oh, I already changed the word. I'm going to change the style, click the 3 dots, style. And what I want to do is I want this first one, I want it to be transparent background. And I just want the word like this. Okay, so I'm going to make the box smaller here. And I'm going to move the word on top of this pumpkin. And then I'm going to move the little circle over here and I'm going to move it up until it kind of disappears. So I need to find an orange, and I just go real slow until it kind of just seeps into the back. And sometimes it takes me a minute, but look, like right there, that's really hard to see, right? Okay, look at it there. So now I can put that little rhyming word there, right? And then I can just use my Control D. I can duplicate it, move it back here, and I can put pop. I don't know. And then if it's a different color, just kind of move it until it just disappears. I just go really slowly until it disappears. Now, if this is the first time you're doing this, what you could do is just go to the 3 dots, choose background, and pick like an orange background. And that way you don't even have to use a picture. You don't have to find different colors of the picture. You just find this color of the background and put it in. So I'm going to just make it, oh, there it was. You see, you have to go real slow or it won't disappear, right? So there it goes, disappeared. But I'm going to leave it out just a little bit so you guys can see. There it goes. Okay. Now, I would highly recommend making the words first so you don't have to, in case you have a misspelled word. But if you type the words first, then that means you just have to go back and find the color again. So up to you how you want to do it, but let's just say you found the color like this. You could turn the background off like that because you already know that's the color. And then you could just duplicate it and make all these words that rhyme. Stop, pop, because all the color is the same, right? Whoop. Man, top, pop, hop, stop. You guys are probably like, hello, Heather, there's another one. Oh, cop. Okay. So now I can turn back on my background because I had the matching color, and look, it's like they disappeared. So then you can find a shape tool, and I like to use the circle, but you can really use any tool, and make it like a spotlight. So I like to make it a lot like a spotlight, and choose this transparent background and make it white, like this, whoop, like that. And then I got to send it all the way to the back. So watch. Now the kids can move this around. There's a word. There's a word. And they have to find all the rhyming words. And that's so fun because they can't see the words until they move the spotlight. You just have to make sure you move the spotlight all the way to the back so that the words pop out. Now you could use the spotlight as anything. They could have a pumpkin spotlight. You know, before I had this pumpkin, right? So let's say I'm dragging this pumpkin in here. If I sent this pumpkin, I can't change the transparency, but I can send it all the way to the back. And now they have to move the pumpkin around. And because the pumpkin's in the back, the words show up, right? So then they just move the pumpkin and find all the rhyming words. How cool, right? So cool. Okay, so either way, you can make the circle, that transparent one, and change it to a different color, or you can use an icon like a pumpkin or, snowman or something like that, so they can move those around and find words. I would suggest, again, recording your instructions, and then the kids can use the microphone while they're moving the object around, and then they can say, cop, stop, pop, top, hop, as they're recording. Okay, so that's just a couple of things you can add. A couple of things. I showed you a bunch, but you can just kind of pick which one you want to add and put it in there. On these student instructions here, we need to go back and kind of think about what we wanted them to do. And obviously, I put 5 pages in here. We will probably just do 1 page or 2 maybe in there. So the first thing we want them to do is watch that Jack Hartman video. Wow, that was a long time ago. But remember, we have the Jack Hartman video, rhyming, exercise, jumping around. So this is where I put the emoji icons in again. So remember the Windows semicolon key, and I like to put this little TV here. You can see I do it a lot, but I like to just have the same little icon so they know exactly what I'm talking about each time. So watch the video about rhyming words. And then I want them to use the add response. So there are little icons that Seesaw has. You've probably seen them when you have borrowed or shared activities with other people. And it's colon and then a word and then another colon. The easiest way, again, I'm going to give you the link to these as well, but normally I just type in Seesaw icon shortcuts and it comes up for me. But like I said, I'm going to give you the link so you can have them. I would print them out, put them by your computer, so you always have a way to refer to them. Luckily, they're pretty easy if you think about it. Like, oh, I want them to use a pencil, so it's colon, pencil, colon. I want them to move something, so it's colon, move, colon. This one I never remember because I always type the word text and then I have to go back and look for it. But most of them are all like the word that you would think that it would be. Okay, so I'm going to go over here to Seesaw and I'm doing add, which is this add response right here. That's what they're going to do first. So then remember on this first page, I had them moving these words to match them on the leaves. So I'm just going to add colon, move, colon, and just say move the word, or you can say move the words and or I don't know, let's say match the rhyming words and move them to a leaf. However you want to put it, right? You guys can give obviously a lot more better instructions than what I just did. Now, remember how we had a video on here with even more instructions. So I could actually just add a line on here. And this is where I like to add the emoji. You can use the speaker if you're doing that speaker from the slide, so it just matches. And so they're looking for that same icon, which is very important that you're using the same icons to help them. But you can also, if you don't have that speaker, it's just a video, you can do again the video icon or even the ear for listen. So I'm going to use the speaker one. I was going to say listen to the instructions on the page, and then I can again give them the instructions again, move the rhyming words and match them on a leaf. Okay, that sounds better. Move the rhyming words, match them on a leaf. Okay, then let's just say we only have one page on there. Then I can add the check because I want to turn in your work, right? If I want them to record, I don't just want them to move, I want them to record what they're doing. You can always use that icon for the microphone here for them to record, or you have the video if you want them to record a video of themselves on there. Now, for this page, remember how I recorded a video of myself? You cannot have two people recording a video of themselves, okay? Now, if it's a little screen recording with the microphone, you can have more than one of those, but you cannot have two, I guess, face videos, if that makes sense, okay? So I'm gonna do mic, make sure that's right. There's my mic. Okay, so mic, record yourself reading the words. You do have voice instructions, but hey, if you're already typing these and you have voice instructions on the page, I don't think they're necessary. But if you didn't have voice instructions on the page, I would highly recommend doing the voice instructions here. And I'm going to just show you why. I'm going to just say, watch the video about rhyming words. Click add response. Listen to the instructions on the page. Move the rhyming words and match them on a leaf. Record yourself reading the words. Turn in your work. Okay, obviously you can say a lot more than that, but just for time's sake, we're going to continue. So this is 11:30. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, so down here at the very bottom where there's more options, remember how I was saying we did the little snipping tool and then it gave you a link, but then we didn't really want the students to have the link. Well, if you're sharing this with your team or putting it into the school and district library, I would highly recommend adding that link here so that Oswald pretends, that's the one we linked, remember? So I'm just copying that and pasting it in here. So I'm going to say Oswald pretends and then linking it. So that way the students don't see the link, but when the teachers are using it, let's say they don't want the whole passage for their kids. They just want a snip of the bit, goodness gracious. They just want a snip of the story, then they can just snip that one little piece. I know a lot of special ed teachers are trying to accommodate their students with these Seesaw activities. So if you already have the link to the presentation there or the story, then they can just click on that and move along a lot easier than them having to go and find the resource and snip it and all that stuff, right? Okay. Also, you can also put in the teacher notes, you got the icons from Flat Icon or anything like that. You can put all of those things in there so that the teachers know exactly where you got that from. Okay, you do have skills down at the bottom, and we were doing first grade. I'm not tagged in first grade standards here because I'm a part of like a central office thing, but whatever grade level that you have attached to your class, you're going to see the standard from there, and you can actually, the standard, right, the TEAC. So you can go ahead and attach that TEAC right to this activity. So when you share it into the school and district library, all the teachers can see, oh, this is 1.4A or whatever it is, okay? That's what skills are, just in case you were wondering about that. Okay, so I'm gonna save it. We've added so many things on there. And so now I'm going to share it to my class. So you can see here all my little icons. It just helps those kiddos. So, and you can't even tell the difference really between Seesaw icons and emoji icons. They show up all the same way, right? But when I'm typing the instructions, this little move guide, this little microphone, that's the colon word and the colon, remember? Okay. So I have my front page. Remember when we did this one, just so that it looks very easy, like rhyming words, right? And then I have my template. Here are my teacher notes. So anytime that I share this with someone, which I'm going to share it with you guys right now, I'm going to share it with teachers. Then I can click the 3 dots, click share, and I can share it to those school and district libraries. Especially guys, man, if you're spending so much time on these activities, you're making them awesome, share them, please. Share how awesome you are, because I know you guys are working so hard. So just click share, and you can share it right to the library just by choosing grade level and what subject it is and clicking share, and that's as easy as that. And then your teacher friends can find it in those libraries. But if you're going to share right onto a lesson plan, or like I'm doing right now in Zoom, I'm just copying that teacher link and just Control V, paste it in. So now when you guys click on that, you are going to see exactly this page right here. And then you can just click Save Activity, and then you'll be able to save it. So I'm going to choose Assign. Now, when you assign something to your class, if you have multiple students in your class, I'm just going to click here. You can click on Edit Students. So Edit Students Folder Skills. So for instance, if I think I know Emma Miller is one of my special ed students, then maybe I just uncheck, if all the students are checked, I uncheck her name. So that way the special ed teacher has time to modify that work, and then she can, submit it just for Emma. But if this activity is for everyone, even the special ed student, if you have special ed students in there, you can select everyone. You can put things into folders. I would highly recommend folders just because it helps you to easily find what they have submitted later on. And again, you also have skills that you can attach that TEK, that standard from there as well. Or if you have something that you're working on and you're like, okay, this is a rhyming word, but it's multiple TEKs, I can put rhyming words in here and add my own skill. Now, this is not something all about skills, so I'm not going to go into all that right now, but you can edit students and folders and skills. And then you can schedule the activity, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are doing already because you're preparing for the week. But I'm just going to go ahead and assign it to my class so you can see. So I'm going to click on Miss Miller's class. And then here is my assignment. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that there is a way for you to send this activity right into the link on Zoom. Okay, so if you still have virtual students that you're Zooming with, you can click on the 3 dots once you have the activity on your feed and click Get Student Link. And this student link will send the students right to that page. And I'm not going to send that to you guys because you're not in my class. So you wouldn't be able to get in because it only is for those kids that are in there. But I was on a Zoom the other day and this teacher was saying, hey kids, go to math. Now go to activities. Now go find the one that looks like this. You don't have to do all that if you're a virtual teacher. You can just get student link, copy this link, paste it in just like I did the teacher link, but you're going to paste it in. The kids are already in your class, so they click on the link, boom, it takes them right to Seesaw, takes them right to this activity. They click add response, they're ready to go. How cool is that, right? Okay, the other thing I want to show you, recently there's a couple of updates. I know we're about to run out of time. Okay, they recently added calendar, so now you can look at your activities by the calendar. How cool is that? You can see, obviously I don't post as much as you guys do, but you can see when you posted the activity. You can click on that activity or that day and see all the activities that were posted on there and see the responses from there. The students also have a calendar. So if you're like, hey, Johnny, you missed all your activities on Monday, they can click calendar, click Monday, and see all those activities in math from Monday. Okay. The other thing is that you can actually now pin things to the top. Thank you, Seesaw. So look right here, pin to top. So let's say there are kids that have a ton of activities they're behind, but there is one that you need to have them complete. Right there, pin it to the top. See how it says pinned? So when they go into activities, boom, that's the first one that they see. Okay, awesome possum. All right, and then you can just unpin it. Oh my gosh, it's 11:30. It's time. I'm going to give you guys the link that has all these resources in there so you guys can see that. I do want to tell you the journal feed also has pinned to the top. So in your homeroom class, your Bitmoji classroom, your Zoom link, your whatever that you want them to view all the time, you can also pin things to the top in your journal feed as well. So, okay. Oh, thank you for asking questions, Juanita. While I'm getting the link, I will answer. Can we have a copy of the recording? Yes. You will get a copy of the recording for sure. I am recording everything that we're talking about. So you guys can, first I have to give you this form. Eek. I'm going to put link here so that way you guys know there's that link. And then I have this Wakelet here. It says going from YAG to Yay, which really we're just taking things from your YAG and we're turning it, yay, into Seesaw. But all the things, Seesaw icon shortcut, the extension, flat icon, Pixabay. A lot of people ask about the cursor that I have, which is the big arrow and all that. That's custom cursor. There's the keyboard shortcuts we talked about. I'm also going to add Slides Mania in there as well. I just realized that I did not add that one. So here's the other link. The first link is a form. Please, please, please fill that out. And then this is the wakelet of information for you guys to view. I know you are getting to your next one, but I will stick around for any questions. Thank you guys so much for being so attentive and listening and being a part of this class. I really, really, really appreciate it.